Hello and welcome to episode 48 of our Timberborn Update 6 Waterbeavers playthrough, cycle 54, day 5. We have a lot of stuff that we've gotten accomplished the past few episodes, and still more to be done before I think we can be really happy with the progress that we've made toward the endgame things, but we are getting very close, friends. And one of the more important things is actually right in front of us right here. We have, if I can click on it correctly, come on, there we go. This terrain block, a little less than 200 dirt shy of being fully completed. Once that's done, we can remove these things right here and then greatly expand our lotus growing, which actually we're just harvesting these for nenuphars so we can make methane. But that's going to make a whole lot more, and that's going to bolster production of quite a few things. So they're going to keep working on this, but for now, let's come back over here where we have the ENS currently paused. It was making clockwork robotic controllers, but we have 5 of those. And those are instrumental in building the clockwork hydroponic farms. And we've talked about this for a very long time, but the clockwork hydroponic sunflower farm is going to be such an important thing for us to build, because we have been behind on sunflowers for so long, and they're taking so much space for farming that we could use to grow anything else. Since we are over here, this was a comment someone left, saying that we should grow some sunflowers here because these berries all died off. So it's going to take time to get that clockwork hydroponic farm in place, so right now we can have more sunflowers growing, because we only have 6 seeds and we're currently trading for them, which is, you know, it's nice that we can do that, but it's hugely beneficial if we can move away from importing sunflower seeds, because then we can have other things with our very limited ability to handle the trading balloons. How close are we on this now? 853. Okay, they're going to take their time with that. And we also have these water wheels here that we really should upgrade to the large ones, because they make so much more power. As we see here, this one is making almost 600 by itself. Same story here, where one of these makes 117. And we might be able to find a way to put in maybe a couple of these large ones here. These are 5 blocks wide, and these are 3. So we have a space of 9 here. I can't quite fit 2 next to each other, but maybe, depending on how we can organize things, I could put 2 of them in here back to back, and I know for a fact that'll fit on top of this medium warehouse just fine and connect here. But maybe if we have a drought, next time we can mess with that. We've got a bunch of things to think about. Hello, balloon. And we are also in the middle of building the elevator to the abyss, but we are missing giant half logs, which are currently growing from our giant sequoias and being processed into giant half logs with the advanced sawmill, but we don't have any more giant logs right now. So we do have to wait for these to grow. This one's at 71%. That's 82, 88, 83, 7, 4, and 86. So within the next, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, we should have enough to finish this. And that is going to be an absolute game changer, folks, because the elevator to the abyss is going to unlock so many different things. Maybe the most useful one, for right now at least, is the Nuclear Waste Mining Expedition Center, because that, friends, is going to give us access to the basic nuclear reactor and actually run it. We do have to research the degree in nuclear physics. I'm pretty sure, yes. So let's actually get that going there. That does require nuclear waste, but everything else, 1,000 paper is a whole lot, but we have 600 in storage. Pencil sets, we have enough. Pollution resistance factor, we've had that forever. Brain boosting salts and bad water, same kind of deal. So let's get this started so that we can get everything brought in here as fast as possible, because once we have nuclear waste coming in, and that's the only thing we have to finish that degree, we're going to want to get a really good head start on building at least one of these, because this thing makes 3,000 HP after an hour of burning 1/10 of a nuclear waste. So it also is going to help us seal off a bad water source, which you and I both know is going to be absolutely transformative in the usage of this entire half of the map. So just to take a quick look at this, I will turn off the HUD. You have a doorway in the front, and then you have 3 power outputs. So for us to put this in here, we would have to demolish a large portion of a bunch of this stuff, because we'd have to have some sort of power output. And it's kind of risky to do that on any side but the back. And I think that's probably going to be the best way to do it, is to build it with the doorway facing here, because then, once it's built, the bad water source is sealed off anyway, and then we can just blast this out and put a ladder or stairs or something to go this way or this way. And then we can just remove all of these natural overhangs, and that's going to be a big task. But that would effectively make it so that the only bad water coming through here would be coming from these two things here, which is still a whole lot less, but it is going to prevent some of the pollution from getting quite so bad over here, since it's not going to be coming from this upper area. And power-wise, like I said, 3,000 HP. This isn't a great location to connect to the rest of the grid, but we do have options, and we could even have it run up over here if we didn't want to remove all of these overhangs. We can keep one set of them in and just bring this as far over here as we can, or we could run it to the side, to the other side, so on and so forth. The Abyssal Nuclear Reactor is a different story entirely, and makes 25,000 HP, but it takes nuclear fuel, and it does go on the Abyss itself, but I think it has to be built on top of an actual Abyssal elevator. So tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff to research to get to this one. But just know, our power woes are not going to be permanent. It's just going to be really annoying for a while until we can get absolutely everything fixed. But there is a plan for it. Okay, this one's actually going to be finished here real shortly, so that's good to see. I do want to leave this clay pit, or both of those here, but everything else inside of this is going to get blasted down, and we will have to do something about that. But for right now, we just need to get this completely sealed up, and it looks like this one beaver is going to do that in short order here. And to further bad tide proof this whole area, we are going to need to put levees along this entire side here, which does mean this platform goes away, and this staircase can go away as well. The only problem with this is the amount of wood that this is going to use, and the amount of... okay, well, I guess the pine resin's probably fine. But this is going to be fantastic to have taken care of before the next bad tide. So I'm going to just... Wait, what's down here? Is that a path in the way? Yes. Let's get rid of that. Now this won't completely make this area impervious to bad tides, but this line right here is really going to help. In fact, I think we probably should put another one of these on the very end, but that is not a, huge priority. And this leaves us with a 2-wide exit on the side of the map, which probably is not going to be enough, but it's not going to be that big of a deal because we have a dynamite, and if I make this 4 wide, I can put wheels here and easily connect them to some other stuff. I think that's going to be good. But I did remove the stairs here for obvious reasons. I can easily add a staircase back, just right there, to make this possible. So, I am thinking about ways to, improve the power prospects. It's just the way this map is set up and the way everything is oriented really, really makes that hard. It makes it so hard. We have options. I also wanted to discuss something about these water cannons here, and that is they have the filter, right? So you can either have regular water, bad water, or a mix. If we wanted to, we could possibly use these, if we had more power, obviously, to divert bad water without completely shutting it off. We could just place this, for example, somewhere in this area. If I were able to expand this just a tiny bit, we could direct only bad water whenever it's flowing through here into this pond, for example, if we were able to make that work. And that, it wouldn't remove everything, but I did think it was a neat idea. So that's something to think about. Obviously, it will just take some time. But we're already off to a very good start on our nuclear physics degree, and that will continue to improve as time goes by. And this in just a moment, and by a moment I mean probably another 10 minutes, we'll have the rest of the giant half-logs, and then they're going to start getting runes exploration points, which have to go into building basically everything that attaches to this. And in terms of science, I don't want to unlock this quite yet, because I do think we want to maybe save some science for a couple more important things right off the bat, like our clockwork hydroponic farms. They're 1,000 for the cabbage, 2,000 for the sunflowers, 1,500 for the green peas, so on and so forth. And I did say sunflower farm was going to be our most important thing, and that is going to have to be built somewhere. Now, it's also important to note that the clockwork hydroponic farms really only consume wood. And, okay, well, this one, the Everblossom farm, consumes crude saw blades, but everything else is just 1/100th of one log to make one piece of sunflower seeds. So it really doesn't matter where we put this. It would be advantageous for us to put the clockwork hydroponic sunflower farm in a place where its output would be very useful, which, for the purposes of what we're doing right now, is these screw presses making sunflower oil. And this area that is now completely dry is a prime candidate for something going in there. And since we're about to have, well, not about to have as in today, but soon enough, a nuclear power source right here, that's going to make a lot of power, and these wheels will be rendered obsolete once there's no more bad water coming through here. So we've got options, but we do need to make sure we have a space in which to build, and this is a 5x5, so it's going to require a little bit of finagling here. I got 145 explosives. I don't think we really need to be super worried about rationing those, but I'm going to remove all of those things, and I'm just going to blast this completely down, all the way, except maybe not past here. So this is 5 deep, and the power does hook up in a specific spot that I don't remember. So let's check. Is that the very front? Yeah, looks like that's the very front. This is a second-story entrance, so it could theoretically be buried as well relative to the path. But it should also be noted, this has been separated from the mega platform that it used to be part of in the update 5.1. So if we want to stack these, we are going to have to build the mega platforms. And that's its own research. They're 40 metal each, and they have to snap onto giant pillars. So not only do we have to have these, but we have to have these. And those each require a giant log. And that's 3 tall, that's 4 tall, that's 5 tall. I don't think I can have anything like snap in the middle of these, so we will have to build them at the correct height for which they are intended. That is too far from a district. I'm going to expand my pathing there. Try and take care of that. Get that in place, and that should help us out. And again, we're still kind of far from having most of this ready to go, but not that far. Hey, all right. Looking good with these 3 so far. The water level isn't that concerning, actually, but I do think it's going to be smarter for this to be 4 wide so I can put 2 wheels. Because that is basically most of the water currently coming onto the map from this source and this source and this source, or I guess these groups of sources, rather. Coming all through here and all going to come out that way. So, gotta make sure that we have everything set up correctly. We have B for boom over here. Remove that, remove that. This would also not be a bad place to put some of those, but we don't have power over here. And, you know, it doesn't mean we can't do it, but we would have to run from some sort of a generator, which, again, we could put 2 there. Or I could just build a big old power shaft or bring it over from here. We have time. We have the ability to put, I guess, probably put 3 on a stack over here. But we'll get there when we get there. For now, I believe it is going to be advantageous for us to just delete this levee, let this equalize, let this get filled up, and start the process of blasting it down, which these guys can do from here to a limited degree as long as it's within distance of the path. But they're not going to be able to get rid of this unless I send them down into it, which is probably going to be fine, easy. Doing this way. Remove blockages here, remove blockages here, remove blockages here. And then, you know the drill. I don't need to exhaustively narrate the entire process of doing what we need to be doing with this. Just know that it's happening. Yeah, this is looking good. This obviously is still going to take a little bit more time. That one's at 88, 94, 92. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of soon. Hopefully. Food is mostly recovered from the uh-oh moment last episode. It's not perfect. It's definitely not great. But it's going to get a whole lot better once we have these clockwork hydroponic farms. So we do still need to make a bunch more science. The library has a single beaver who does not have enough kimchi to do any studying. So I guess that's a tragedy in its own right. But I did want to get this PhD in nuclear physics as ready to go as possible before this started making its first nuclear waste. And I think we are going to get there just fine. Almost done pencil sets, halfway there on the paper. And paper is kind of a slow thing to make. And I don't want to go through too much other stuff, especially sawdust is a big issue, or has been historically. Now we have plenty of it. It's a balancing game that I've never really been very good at, as you can obviously tell. But I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. So let's start the process of, I hesitate to say engineering this, because it's not really engineering by any stretch of the imagination, but if I can put in a large water wheel here, and I do have enough blueprints for those, I think. Yeah, I have 7. I probably should duplicate some more, but one of these here. Remember, Waterbeavers, they can go either side. I can fit another one here if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if I have these things removed. And if we straighten this out a tiny bit, then this will be a shoe-in to have 4 of these in very useful, very necessary places. So we'll have that one there. Tall platforms here, and then one here. Regular platform will be fine. Getting the power shafts between them on this side is not going to matter because they share power at the connection here. We'll just have to have this brought up like so, with just regular straight power shafts. And build what we can build when we can build it, because that's about all you can do. I don't think this is going to get finished before this one is anyway, and this is also, or should be in range. Maybe it isn't quite in range. Let's give them a couple more tiles. And also connect that. Still looking pretty good. This is making scrap metal. We have a ton of scrap metal now, which is a great problem to have, because for the longest time we had none, and it was a huge pain in the butt. So things are looking okay. 96%. It will be soon. Okay, yeah. We got 1, 2, 3 things completely satisfied. Bad water is not going to be an issue. It just has to be brought over. And the paper is going to be a pain in the butt, but it's not going to be quite as bad if that's the only thing it needs that isn't nuclear waste. So many good things to be happy with here. I'm going to go ahead and rebuild part of this spiral staircase here, because if we can start blasting out the back of this, that will help reduce the amount of bad water that's infecting these areas. So let's just take the simple, not necessarily easy, but the simple way out of putting in ladder there, and then a spiral staircase there. And then I believe the right thing to do is going to be for us to have a suspension bridge all the way across here, and then underneath it blast the ever-loving you-know-what out of it with some quadruple dynamites, which, oh, that's not going to fit under this one. Okay. Well, lesson learned, I suppose. Let's do a 2x... why is that? Is that really not going to work with the quadruples? Is it only the quadruples that doesn't work with? I guess it's time to experiment here. No, it's all dynamite. Huh. Okay. So this is about to get really interesting then, I guess. Let's do a triple bridge and then blast out one thing at a time. All the way down, which actually I probably am going to want to get rid of this too, but that could be another time. Could be another time worth of stuff here. So I know. Stop doing what I'm doing and do it correctly. I'm trying. It's easier for me to think visually than to think with words. So I only need to blast out directly in front of the bad water source at first, and this will help us out a whole lot. Being 4 tall, that should bring it down to about this level. And I can't really be exactly sure, but I think this is 4 deep down to this bad water source as well, which should be fine. The assembly line is still making pencil sets, which we probably don't need any more of. How are we doing on the wooden toys? I know that was a thing for a while. Almost everybody's got one. Okay, we don't need to worry about that. Robot parts. I will just have it send back to that, because we're going to need those at some point. Looks like we've got some exploding to do over here. That's not quite in range. Okay, we'll help him out with that. And I have 130 dynamite left. I told you we had plenty of dynamite. How are we looking here? They haven't even approached this in the slightest. Alright, well, I'm going to pause this water wheel so we don't have any accidents. They're bringing all this dirt over here. This is, for the most part, looking pretty good. I can't help but feel like I'm ignoring something really important. And I know this has to have a dam here, but I purposely left that open so this would not flood into here. If we have a drought, this has to come out. We have to put a house here or something so that it doesn't have any possibility of overflowing. All right, under 200 paper needed, under 250 bad water needed. We're looking good. Well, we're looking better at least. And we should be very, very soon. 99%. Yeah, 99%, 93%, 98%. This is about to get real busy real quick. And 6 of those, which is what we're going to get immediately, is going to give us 12 giant half-logs, which I only need 10. So we'll have to keep a monitor on that, because the giant half-logs, as far as I know, are not very important for much of anything else. I think, okay, the giant bridges do make use of those. So that's going to be something nice for us to deal with. But it's not exactly at the top of our priority list at this exact moment in time now, is it? The answer to that question is no, if you were wondering. Very, very, very close, friends. Very close. Yeah, we're looking better and better. The paper is going to be what the paper is going to be. It's going to lag for a while, but I'm feeling pretty confident about it. These ready to explode? They are. B for boom. All right, and that's going to be where we put our clockwork hydroponic farms, at least for the very first bit. And as promised, the sunflower farm is our most important. I'm going to unlock it, and I am going to put it right here. Power input right there can easily come over, well, mostly easily come over from here whenever we get that figured out. And it is going to have a second story entrance, so it will need a ladder to get inside. That will hook up very nicely right there, and it should be minimal weeping or gnashing of teeth. Actually, before we go any further, I want to try something. This is something I did previously. Are these flippable? They are. Okay. So, for the sake of having accessibility ease between different stacks of these, having the doorways closest to each other is probably the right move. But for the ease of powering stuff, having the power shafts closer to each other is going to be the right move. But the power shaft is right in the middle on the third block of this, so it doesn't really matter distance-wise. The difference maker here is Are we going to have ladders in between stacks of power shafts, or are we going to have power shafts in between stacks of ladders? One of those is a whole lot cheaper to build. And we can have these ladders for the entrance connected sideways with the help of suspension bridges pretty easily, and I'm 90% sure they can go up in the middle of a... Yeah. Okay. So that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to have this one get built like this, and then anything we build next to this will be flipped, if we can. So in terms of materials, all we need now is some tools and some water. You don't want to do this during a drought because it's going to take a whole bunch of your water away. And of course you can't stack these unless you have the giant pillars. Which the pillars... okay, now I got to think about this. Okay, we have to cancel construction on this because somebody forgot about the corner pieces for the pillars. Oh, we almost made a horrible mistake. Almost made a horrible mistake, but I managed to catch it, so hooray. Now, normally this is where I would say I need to put more land here, but with the Waterbeavers mod, building additional land is an absolute suffering experience. So instead what we can do is just blast the heck out of it, which we do need 6 by 6. Or is it 7 by 7? You know, I'm not good enough at math to do this unaided. That's got to be 7 by 7. Okay. So that will go there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think... I don't know. I should find out before I build anything else. We can still build this single one here. But I really need to find out if you can snap these mega platforms. If you can snap 2 of them onto the same central rings. I don't know. And I also realize now that I don't want to blow this up. Let's... Bear with me, folks. I'm trying my best. We have a second GMO growing lab that we really should build next to this same one here. Take advantage of space, and now we could have this come through this way, and that would be a whole lot better. Just for optics. So we got 7 there. We got 6 here, which means now to have our single one at this height, we actually don't even need to blast it at all. Well, look at that. Look at that. I just saved us a whole bunch of dynamite just by being stupid. Anyway. The most important thing is that we did not waste all of this stuff. We got all those materials back. This has to go flipped back to the original orientation. This has to go here. And then the pillars will go here, 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 and here. That will also make it so that we... Oh my god, this mod is suffering incarnate. I'm not going to be able to share any stacks of anything, but maybe that's fine. It's probably mostly fine. Alright, that's there. That's there. Power shafts are going to be what power shafts are going to be. And it's going to have to go around... It's going to have to go around the corner. Okay, well, they can still build it. We'll just move on. How are we looking here? 158 paper needed. I've got none. Okay. Bad water should be fine. Paper, really the only limiting factor in paper is the sawdust, and we do have that. It just takes a while to actually make it. So 5 paper per 1.5 hours. I guess I could bring some more beavers in here to... Yeah, there we go. Triple the speed on that. Okay, this is ready. B for boom here. This is ready for B for boom here. And it looks like, yeah, they've actually got a pretty good handle on this. I do not feel bad in the slightest. So that'll go there. This will have to be removed. But I guess I should probably build this other one first here, because that's going to be able to share power easily. And if it's a drought, then none of this matters. If it's a bad tide, then yeah, you know, we can actually make some good use of this and not have to worry quite so much about it. Now this gold dust storage and this dirt storage really don't need to be here. Okay, drought approaching makes it a little bit easier. And gives us some more time to think here. Of course, they're not going to pick up any of these pieces for quite some time unless I tell them to. So we'll grab that, and they will take care of stuff as they have the ability to. So this is making brambles. This is something somebody mentioned in a comment. Said, oh, you're making enough brambles now. You can probably get rid of this thing here and blast this land out or make a better use of the space. And yes, we do have 1,300 brambles in storage, but those get used in a bunch of things. We take a look at our goods consumption. Our brambles, yes. We have 16 buildings using those. The medical beds, and then all of these fermentation barrels that are making kimchi. We need to be making more kimchi. And eventually spicy sodas. And there's other recipes we're not currently using that use those as well. So until we have that really, really, really stable with the amount of production we're actually supposed to be using, I see no reason to completely get rid of this, although that would significantly free up a bunch of labor. The GMO growing lab that is making those now can stay making those. And then this other one probably is going to be best used to make berries, given how hard it is to keep those in stock. Mushrooms would be great if we had mushroom juice. We do not have mushroom juice, and those aren't really that hard to grow. They just take up a space, and I don't think we need to worry about lotus flowers. So I'm going to set this one to berry mode, and then they will get there when they get there. Got all sorts of stuff to think about. How are we looking here at the ENS? Everything except the paper. All right. I have 12 half logs. And I don't have any storage of the giant half logs. And despite looking like it has a whole bunch of logs in here, it says no goods in stock. So we do not have any more giant logs. 23, 21, 0, 99. Okay, that's good. This one's halfway done. That's why. That's why it was looking like that. All right. So I'm feeling good about that. They still have not done this because... Oh, it's too far from a district because they haven't made... Okay, well, this isn't really a huge priority, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. Food is down a little bit to 2,700. The pumpkin chips, once again, proving to be kind of a problem, but I think that's just a processing speed issue. Because we do have a lot of pumpkins. We do have a lot of sunflower oil, salt, and logs. They could use another cooking tent making the pumpkin chips. But I don't really have a great place to put it. Rice ball storage here probably is not the best place. And I don't really have that many more of those right now anyway. So I'm going to remove this rice ball storage. It was here because we used to be making those here. And I guess this could just be a good place to put another cooking tent. Makes more sense to do it that way. Even if it doesn't make perfect sense, it does make more sense. And sometimes that's all you need. So let's make those into pumpkin chips. I'm going to prioritize that. Because we do have some of the materials to make the stuff, and we can definitely be doing it just a bit faster. Alright, yeah, 73 paper remaining. 2 more giant half logs, which means we only need 1 more of these to be processed. And I think we just got 2 of them, unless this only gives us 1. No, it gives us 2. So, with any luck, here in a little bit, we're going to have our final half log cutting begin. And then I can just change this over to make regular wood, or something out of it. Alright, that's at 1%. So, tomorrow, in-game, we will take a look at that. And then we'll have some extras to start making giant pillars, which is exciting. It should be noted the giant pillars are all the same cost, regardless of height, which is a little annoying, because we're going to have to mix and match these at different ways, and that's going to be kind of a pain to keep up with. But it's fine. Alright, let's get back to work here, and within 6 hours we will have our final giant half logs ready to go. That guy cut down, we got 1 here. Should have at least another one of those when that gets pulled up. I really don't want to leave this alone because I'm going to forget, and then like, why do you have so many giant half logs? Like, oh, that's because I forgot. You know how this goes, if you've seen enough of these videos. So we will just hang out here for a brief moment. And wait, does this have an aura around it? It does. What is that, like a noise pollution thing? Okay. So I'm going to set this over to logs now just because we have all of our giant half logs. They will bring those in here, and then the elevator to the abyss will be ready to go. Exciting stuff. That's another beef or boom that needed to get done. If you don't remember from last episode, that was me wanting to put in a regular water wheel, because these are a lot cheaper to build. So that is what was happening there. They should have no issues being able to do that. Alright, there's our giant half log, and then this is about to be finished. And boom. Elevator to the abyss. We are not making cereal bars, so they cannot do anything right now. So this will be paused. Now we have to make cereal bars. What's the recipe for cereal bars? Well, it has to be made in either the cooking tent or the cooking house. Recipe is the same either way. But you have to have rice, you have to have berries, you have to have sunflower seeds, chestnuts, pine resin, water, and logs. And this is one of the reasons why I said we need to be making more berries, because that's going to be very important. We don't have a lot of rice either, so it's going to become a very important thing for us to be able to just produce a lot of this really quickly. So glowing fluid, water is all recipes for all of these things here to make the ruins exploration points. It's not going to make sense for us to make the cereal bars here, but we are going to have to make sure that the beavers don't eat all the cereal bars before they can go in here, which is why it's so important to have all these other types of food. Ideally, you'd want to have your cereal bars be exported to a separate district that is only for the elevator to the abyss, but I absolutely despise trying to figure district mechanics out, so I'm not going to do it. I don't have that kind of time. Well, I guess technically I do, but you guys aren't going to want to watch all that nonsense. So instead, looking okay here, B for boom. Yeah, okay. So the good news is I can take my single dynamites and I can more or less get this entire area blasted out and not have any issues. The main problem is going to be how far does this large farmhouse reach, which I won't know until I blow this whole area up. Because I don't think these will spread the same way some of the other stuff does. Based on how far this goes, I don't think it's going to reach all the way out to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to plant this dynamite. We can always, you know, expand out if we need to, but I think if it even goes all the way here, this is going to be the furthest we can get. We may end up relocating the clay pits or something to this wall, depending on how stuff works. The clay pit, I think, isn't going to care if it goes on a too tall thing or not. Okay, I guess it does care. I guess it does care. And why do I not have a single space to try this? That is very annoying. Here? Yes. Okay, so it does care about depth. Let's, because I can have this path go this way. Let's not take out this with the dynamite. I think that's going to end up being better for us anyway. I'll let them finish that. Then we'll come back to other stuff. How are we looking? Obviously, oh, they finished the paper. So now nuclear waste is the only objection, the only obstacle. I'm going to take this down to 1 beaver. I don't want to pause this because then they're going to take the stuff out. But I will take it down to 1 beaver so they can go do other stuff. And we do need science, so I will take a couple more beavers in here. I know we're not really producing kimchi in the quantities necessary, but things are going to be okay. Now, this being a drought is a really, really good time for this to get blown up. And I obviously am not going to rush it if they have other stuff they have to do. I don't know where I was going with that. Where's my closest power shaft from here? It's not going to play nice here, and I can't. Oh, I forgot these aren't modular. I can't do anything else unless I just remove... Wait a second. Oh, that was for the, that was for the gravity battery additional thing. Oh, this is about to be so ugly. So I do have power shaft going this way. I can't really get up anywhere. So as much as this is not going to be a really popular thing for me to do here, I'm going to take this straight power shaft out. I'm going to turn that into a power shaft upward T intersection. Because remember, this is not update 7. There's not the infinitely configurable power shafts is one thing. These are all modular. You have to plan for things. So I will have to make a separate a separate thing here. And then make a whole bunch... Am I not on the right level? There we go. Make a whole bunch of this mess to bring these power shafts all the way around to where they are supposed to go. Around here, and I know this is ugly. I know you guys are really not going to like that, but you got to do what you got to do, you know? Just fundamentally, you got to do it. And I think the way this is set up, I should be able to build all of this without any weeping or gnashing of teeth. And this is going to have to be a... oh, see, this is hard because this doesn't want to let me do this at an angle. So let's... There's no real reason to pause this. Yeah, I'm going to have to just have this come in straight from the front and not do this last turn here. The reason why is so that I can put this piece here and then just go upward from there. That is going to be, I think, the simplest way to do it. I'm going to make this a 4-way just in case I need to have power taken off at any point in time. This would be a good opportunity for a 3 here. And then I'm just going to have this go this way best as I can. Do this step up here. Have this go all the way down until we get to here. There's no reason to connect this to anything else. And this now. Once that gets finished, gears... Oh, are we that low on gears? Did I pause the mechanics lodge that's making gears? No, I did not. Did I rebuild the second mechanics lodge that was making gears? I don't think I did. That's the wrong tab. Let's check and see. I only have a single mechanics lodge making gears. Well, there's your problem. That's not ideal. And that goes under science? Yes. Okay, so I'm making planks and I'm making logs in areas that are kind of close to here. Do I even have a good place to put any of this stuff? Not really, but I'll just stick it here for no other reason than to just have it there. Alright, so that is going to have to be what it's going to have to be. I will need to continue adding in vertical shaft here, and then I'm pretty sure they should be able to build this with minimal disruptions. We will see what happens, but once this is connected, we will be able to turn logs into sunflower seeds. And I know a lot of you are going to be happy about that. So, large industrial pile here with a warehouse of the large variety for sunflower seeds here is going to be an absolute banger, as the kids would say. I don't even know if they still say that, but I don't care. Wow, I really only had 36 storage of sunflower seeds? Yikes. Well, good news is that's easy to get hooked up there. That's easy to get hooked up there. And we should be in good shape. So, I also realized that building this here is going to make it impossible to have this power shaft go anywhere else. However, don't forget that we have a pillar that's going to be here that's not going to make it possible to go walking that way either. And I can always just have this come up and over again. It's just a matter of what is going to work with whatever limited resources and insane qualifications we have to have for everything. This has no power, of course not, because we ran out of power because somebody was an idiot. I'll let you have 3 guesses as to who that might have been. Alright, so I blasted this out. What's our range looking like? Okay, I am glad I kept this the way that I've kept it. Let's take these out and blast this here. It actually doesn't need to go all the way to there. I'm going to blast that, and then I think I can get away with doubles here. Just give ourselves as much space as we can. And then plant the lotus flowers. All in due time. All in due time. Okay, B for boom. It's going to give me a couple more here. These do take a long time to grow, so, you know, I don't want to waste any moments here. So that is going to be... Oh! Removing that actually gave us another option. Alrighty, I like where that's going. So now I have space down here to put those clay pits, and I can fit one here. And then since we don't need this anymore, I can fit one here. Is it perfect? No, but it is better, and that is what matters. That goes there. This corner can also be taken out, and this is also going away at some point. But we will get there when we get there. Planks are running very low. I realize I have those paused. That was something I said, hey, you know what? Maybe we're going to regret that someday, but for now... Oh, this is also now completely dry. That's a, you know, that's a consequence of this. But remember what I also said is that in a drought, I'm going to remove this and replace it with something else. And I think I have the perfect thing to fix this with. That is going to be taking this 3 by whatever spot and turning that into a pit and ladder lodge, which, builders or haulers? Hauler and liquid storage. Okay. That might actually not be a bad idea, because I don't think I really need that many. Oh, it's a double height. Double height. That is not going to actually work. Builders with side door, because I want them to be able to access down here in the clean water, mind you, in the clean water. But that can be a builder's side door, and then if this one is also a builder's side door, then that becomes a very easy way to access this area as well. There's no just like straight up pass through. But this will keep all the bad water away, so I could just have a, you know, pathing connect right like that, and then come in here and have that same kind of thing taken care of. Let's just do that. Is it ugly? Yes. But is it fine? Also yes. Okay, how are we looking here? Waiting on one log. And then I think we just have to have, okay, gears and planks and gears there. So those might take a little bit, but... Oh, yeah, these have a lot of gears. Lots of gears. Let's super prioritize these if we can. Is the one below this completed? Yes. Okay. And this will be turning just as soon as we have, you know, anything actually connected to it. And it's ready to go. It has its one log. It just needs sunflower seeds, which it will make of its own accord. All right. This is waiting on logs. Don't have a ton of logs. I also... Okay, well, by the time we're actually getting to the point where this is going to matter, we probably won't need these levees at all anymore, because this won't be flowing through here. And these might end up going away. I don't know. So much to think about. You know how it goes. I also neglected to, you know, solve this problem, so that's fine. Come on, Pit and Ladder Lodge. Get this thing built, please and thank you. Hello, balloon. I love that the guy was facing this way, but the balloon is very clearly going the other way. Like, are you backing up? No? Okay. So that is taken care of. This does connect everything, even though it might not look like it. Because this comes out here. Anyway, this should not be a problem anymore, which means I can now come back in with a primitive dam piece here and get that built. That doesn't need to be a huge priority because, well, we don't have a whole lot of logs. But we're getting there. We are making progress. Now the only problem is gears, and that, of course, is going to get resolved in due time. Oh, this has died because of lack of water, because somebody exploded it too much. Well, nothing I can do about that. 2.5 days. Oh, these are all going to be completely dead. That is so annoying. And oh, I can't even water dump because it has to be inside of a Lido, and I don't have one of those. Okay, is one of those gonna fit? Because I could possibly do it. Water irrigation Lido, not gonna cut the mustard unless I remove this. Okay, well, extenuating times call for extenuating circumstances, extreme measures, whatever you want to say about that. So let's, there we go. All right. Oh, 30 logs, not great. Not great, Bob. Let's just hope they can do this in the next 2.4 days, because, water coming in here will flow into this area. I just don't know if it's going to be fast enough. And honestly, we can leave this here. That's fine. Because I don't think it's going to reach, even if it was slightly better, it's not going to be able to plant anything here anyway. I will resist the urge to blow this up, because that's just going to create more volume for us to fill. Yeah, we'll have to check in on that later. Alright. I still have not made any cereal bars because I got distracted. Stop me if you've heard that one before. Yes, I know the food is precarious at 1.4K, but we're gonna see real soon. Oh, now I have sunflower seeds after I spent all my resources building this nonsense. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is, I almost said D-zone. I'm not playing SimCity. Maybe I should. I'm gonna unplant a bunch of these sunflower seeds, and I'm going to replace those with cabbages, because we absolutely have to have cabbages. Baby steps, one at a time. Those grow a lot faster and they can be eaten raw and all sorts of other nonsense. We're still missing gears. Still missing gears. How do I still not have so many gears? Well, I do this to myself. And then I get mad about it. I don't have planks. Why do I not have planks? Oh, because I turned the planks... Just say it. Just say it. Just hit enter on that comment. I know you're going to send it. It's okay. I give you permission. I fully endorse this behavior. Alright. So now... Crude sawbleed. I have 75. Okay. Yeah, see, this is... I'm going to have to keep this paused for a minute. What can I demolish that is made of planks? Can I demolish anything that is made of planks? What are these? I know these bridges have planks. They got a lot of planks. Can I afford to get rid of some of them is the question at hand. Okay, this suspension bridge does not really serve a great purpose here, because this is no longer connected. That is 9 planks. That is 9 planks. Neither of them are in this district, but we have 1.7 days, and we could possibly save some of these. Alright, so let's run it. Oh, this large water wheel has 60. Alright, easy. I will just remove that, because it can always be rebuilt. And these planks are so much more important to go into this anyway. They are going to have to take it all the way back to storage just to bring it back, because you know that's how it works. That's how they justify getting their money. I say to beavers that do not ever actually exchange currencies. I just need my gears. I need my gears. That's also probably why we don't have those, because they do have to use planks to make gears. Alright, beavers. I really need you guys to pull through with this. Okay, can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? Alright, you finished that. Now, I need you to finish this fluid dump, and I need that to be operating before we all go home, okay? Can we do that? Can we do that? I'm not hearing any answers, yes or no. So I guess it's too late. I can't... oh, I see it. Where's the 10th one? Where's the 10th one? Come on. Come on. There you go. Finish. All right. Now it's back to 18. This just has to be properly set. But I've got 1 day. I've got 1.2. I've got 0.9. I think this was worth doing because it's so annoying to replant all of these. So annoying. How are we looking here? Okay, I need 1, 2. 2 gears. That should be it, and then this will draw... Oh. Well, there's your problem. How am I supposed to get rid of this bridge if I can't... There we go. Alright, that definitely explains a lot. I forgot that that was there. That was so I could put the blasters in to, you know, give us a little bit more capacity. It has 100,000 HPH. That's, you know, it's not anything to sneeze at. Come on, gears. Come on, gears. Come on, fluid dump. Time is running out. Where are you with your water, and why are you not dispensing it? I don't even see where the beaver that works here is. There you are. Carrying nothing. Thanks for your contributions. Oh, this district doesn't have any water. What a comedy of errors this has been. Genuinely, I can't even be mad. I really can't. This is 100% irrefutably entirely my fault. Oh well. We know we only have to wait another 8 days to harvest any of this. Some of you like that though, so I guess that's the way it goes. Oh, this is consuming gears. I'll just pause this. Okay. That makes sense. I've got 96 robot parts, yeah. I think we can leave this paused for a little while. Put those components elsewhere. Ugh. Man, what a... Yeah, you can come up with your own words for that if you so choose. I am just continually impressed by my ability to generate conflict when there should be none. Snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, I think, is a popular meme. Alright, so these are already dropping like flies, and there's nothing I can do about it. Alright, so B for boom it is. Is that loose going to reach into that corner? Yes. Now what I don't know is if I continue blasting this out, if that will actually be plantable space. I guess I have nothing to lose by trying it at this point. Except they cannot reach this because everything is dead. Well, conveniently, if these plants are all dead, guess what I can do? I can put in a pathway. Hooray! Yay! There's much rejoicing. Oh, those are still alive for the next 5 seconds. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. So they should be able to put this stuff in at the very least. I still think this is going to be a good thing for us to have here because it's, you know, recreational. And we do need that, but boy, was this a tremendous mistake. At least that's in place, and that's in place. Alright, and they didn't do anything with this because, of course not. But guess what we have? That's right, we're making sunflower seeds. One of these every 0.71 hours, which I'm not going to sit here and do the math on it, but it is definitely preferable to having this set up the way it was with so many of these taking up all of our everything. So at least we have that. When am I going to get my next giant logs? 42, 44, 19, 24, 18, 7. Okay. We are now no longer doing anything in the advanced sawmill. It is closed because I want my giant logs to go into making other things that are very necessary. Like stacking these. And I don't see... No, this wouldn't be there. I don't see where that's going to go. Are these still going to be in inventory until I have somewhere for them to go? Okay, I have 3 giant logs. Is that really all I have is 3? Well, that's definitely not ideal, but we might as well go ahead and make use of those before I forget, because they are very annoying to wait to grow. So, giant pillar, for this purpose, 3 is fine. There's a couple of these that are taller. But I guess 1 there, the most annoying one to build, second most annoying one to build, and then third most annoying one to build, right there. We'll just pop those in. That's our giant logs. It is what it is. They'll take care of that. Then we'll grow more, and then I can put the mega platform on top of that, and then we keep stacking whatever you want to say there. Now, food is food. It's kind of recovering a little bit. I need to get power situated. Let's blast this out and check our range. Okay, so that actually was it on the range. That was a gamble to remove the rest of this, but I guess it's fine. Don't really have any reason to be upset about it, so aside from just, you know, kind of wasting time a little bit. Now we need to put those wheels back in, which that one goes there, that one goes there. And then this one here cannot go in until this other stuff's taken care of. So I will have to take this path out, and build this one before I build the other one. Where are we going to get all of the wood to build this with? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because we have these water wheels that are about to be completely outmoded. And the fun thing that we get to do here is we can actually use... No, get out of there. We can actually use this cannon thing to our advantage because of how this is configured. We can build it without any or ladders or anything. Just put that in there, put that in there, put that all the way across, and then this will end up being our connection to the rest of the network, and then I can take these out of here and we will have absolutely no problems. And I'm tired of looking at that, so I'm going to plant the red cabbage right there. That helps a whole lot. See, these aren't ready to go either, but it's fine. That'll keep those guys busy for a little bit. We need to have... How in the... What happened here? Oh, I know what happened here. I happened here. And now all of these crops are going to die. Oh, boy. I love it when this happens. No, I don't. It's just absolute... yeah. I am going to have to edit that out. Maybe. But I am just absolutely, completely gobsmacked by how stupid I am. Oh, God, when it comes to stuff like this, I don't know. I'm undefeated. And that's not something to be proud of. I have to have somewhere to pump water from this. It's going to kill everything anyway, it doesn't matter, but... Man... Just why? Why am I the way that I am? Where is this even going to go? See, I don't have anywhere to build one. I really don't. Because that's not gonna play nice. I don't even have access up here. How does this happen, man? I know the answer. The answer is because I don't pay attention to things. But also, this is why I didn't want to. This is why I didn't want to use this mod, because I can't time delay it. I can't do anything about it. All right. See, I have to be able to. Well, I'm not going to get it all pumped out in 9 days anyway, or 9 days, 1.9 days. So forget it. Forget it. We'll just have to drown every last crop in here, and then that is, that's just the way it goes. So say goodbye to your food, I guess. Enjoy starvation next episode. I'm sure that's going to be a popular thing. Gears, once again, proving to be an extremely frustrating and annoying thing to make, but we can't do anything about it yet. They can actually reach that. Good. Once that's exploded, then I suppose I will just have to do the paths out of here. Man, that is so upsetting. 'Cause we're doing pretty good. Pretty well. Most things. What's going to be really, really infuriating is when this water evaporates after the last crop has been killed. That could be like 2 or 3 days worth. At least we have this. Right? At least we have that. Regardless of the fact that we somehow have no giant logs. Despite them being in here. If I unpause this, then do the giant logs become available? Now it says no materials. If I have this just be regular giant log storage, do they pull it out? So I always thought they could go back to the... Oh, actually, no, they can't. Well, it's the middle of the night. We'll give them a chance to figure it out. After the sun comes back up. Oh, we're already over an hour. Okay. And I still haven't made any cereal bars. Why am I like this? Well, it's not like it really matters because I don't have rice anyway, so... Ugh. I don't have a... I don't have a... Oh boy, I don't have a clay pot either. Do I even have a wood burner, or did I get rid of it? Let's find out. I do, in fact, have a wood burner, and it is paused. It's in the correct district and everything, so... I guess that is what we are going to be building now. Cereal bars, cereal bars, cereal bars. What does that require again? Rice, berries, whatever. What is this one? I can't even find anything. Okay, that's making spicy sodas. What do I have stored here? I have mushrooms, cabbages, brambles, and salt. And I'm glad I can keep the tab key held down while doing this. That's helpful. So, I have nothing stored over here that's actually useful for the production of cereal bars, which means... Oh, why did I say cooking tent and cooking... Oh, I guess I thought I was talking about cooking house versus mechanized kitchen house. Yeah, so cooking tent, if it's the same, is much cheaper to build. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to do this over by the thing. I didn't think I was going to, but that's the way it goes, I suppose. Cereal bars. Not talking about wrappers. Well, of a different kind. Do people even use that term anymore? Bars to denote wrap? I don't know. I was never really into that. I guess we need warehouses. Oh, this is going to be so ugly. Ew, why am I like this? Okay. Rice, berries, sunflower seeds. I have like no short-term memory. I don't know what happened. I didn't even have that happen the fun way. It just happened. Yeah, so I have to look again. Now I have to look again. I know I saw chestnuts in there. Yeah, berries, sunflower seeds. I know I have this mess here, but it's is what it is. I could probably put some pit warehouses here. That might be better to have some of these things as pit warehouses. Sunflower seeds, and then this one. Why has my brain shut off? Okay. Okay, jeez. What? I'm going to have to go to bed after this, and it's only 8:52 at night. What an embarrassment. God, what was I looking for? Berries. All right. Now I just need water, but there's water here, and I guess that's as good as I'm going to get. So that's where we're stuck for the time being, and that is how it goes. These have not been built because... wait, what? Oh, this wasn't even connected at all. It wasn't even connected at all. Oh, what a blunder. What an absolute blunder. Is this pathway connected to... That's the separate district. Okay. Do I even have dynamite storage in here? Do I even have it at all? Where is the district center? Yes, I do. Okay. Well, that also might explain why this hasn't happened any faster. Boy, this is going to be an expensive ladder. I don't want this to be a thing where it's going to be impossible for it to get to from the other district. I just have to have them build it. That's where we're at. That's the size of it. And this is the only way I can really make that happen, is to do that there. So, now that we know they can actually do something about it, we are still thankfully making sunflower seeds. Assuming somebody actually puts logs in this. Thank you. Still flooded, by the way, in case you were curious. So that's fine. That was actually probably supposed to be I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. I really don't. Alright, let's triple speed. I gotta end this episode, but I was hoping to get something out of it. Still need gears, but I can take these paths out. And I can replace them with some more of these lotuses. And that should help at least a little bit. We did end up doubling about the amount of lotuses that we're growing here, which is good news for our nenuphar and methane production. Because we are going to need a whole lot of that pretty quick. Of course they're building this one first. Okay, that needs to be prioritized, I suppose, because this is connected here. So that's going to be... something, I guess. They can build this from the bottom as well, so I actually can go ahead and take this out. Make it a tiny bit easier. Alright, so now I just have to have a whole lot of gears and a whole lot of planks. Logs seem to be much less of an issue. Long term, at least. Blow that up just because it's there. Gears. Gears, gears, gears. Those have to have logs and planks, and somehow this one has neither. Where did I put the other one? I always forget. Okay, I guess these have to be prioritized because they only have single workers. And where are all my haulers? I only have 10. Okay. Well, ish. See, this is the problem with this mod, is... you have to have everything perfectly balanced or everything falls apart, and you can't ever have enough beavers, but at the same time you can't have too many beavers or stuff just grinds to a screeching halt. And I guess I can put this one on screw press axle so it don't completely run out, but I could have definitely saved some of those beavers a long time ago and put them somewhere else. At least this got finished. We have that going for us. That's nice. So this can get blown up. And then that might be enough to prevent the bad water from coming out into where we don't want it. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Oh boy. Alright, I guess this is as good a time as any to just go ahead and do our end of episode stuff. I really appreciate you guys watching this series. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. But episode 48, hopefully all of those folks have moved on and found other ways to spend their time that they would enjoy more. Because I'm still having fun, even though this is very frustrating. This is a terrible map to do this with, but we're going to see it through to the end, because that is what we do. So, Beard Boosters, always make this stuff possible by subsidizing the channel and just providing a lot of good general support. So I can do stuff like have 2 long series in the 40s episodes and not have to worry every single day about, oh, the people aren't going to watch as much stuff. Now, I do still have to make new series from time to time, and that's what we're doing tomorrow. But If I didn't have the support of those folks, I can assure you this absolutely could not keep happening. I really appreciate it. This dynamite's ready to go, so we're going to detonate it. And now this drains out with extreme quickness and makes this area a little bit less terrible, so that is great to see. Still waiting on a clay pot, which the wood burner is where? See, I just have no ability to remember where anything is. Wood burner. No available workers in district. Oh no, that's the wrong answer. That's the wrong answer. Get in there and make that. I've been waiting this entire time. Okay, so now this is no longer it's no longer completely stupid here. And we do have more of this stuff getting planted. Thankfully. It's nice not having to worry about this, isn't it? This is still working. We're making tons of power. It's still enough to run everything that we need to be running. This is looking fine. That's looking fine. This is acceptable. I am kind of disappointed that these large water wheels did not get finished. Like, I know obviously there's not a real easy solution to getting this done. With a timely fashion at least, but... Oh, now I did it. I can't even get over here to build this because that was, I was waiting on something else. What a disappointing episode this is. But I did say I was going to get rid of all this stuff, so, bye-bye. I guess I'll just grab these out of here. And pop in another staircase like I probably should have. So they'll be able to take care of that. It's not going to be today, which is very annoying, but... You know how it goes. Unable to get required materials. I wonder which materials that's talking about. Well, at any rate, the elevator to the abyss does need to be unpaused so that we can start stocking materials, and I guess that'll be next episode. They start taking treks down there and to get all of this stuff figured out. So yeah, that is... that's going to have to be where we leave it, folks. I know I wanted to get a lot more done, but you have made it possible for us to come this far, and I'm always going to be thankful for that. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back in this series, hopefully on Friday. Unless I decide to change schedules, but I'll let you know. Take care. Bye-bye.